I've been creating content for over a decade now. It's almost 10 years. And I tried to utilize this lockdown period in penning down another recipe book. So this recipe book is all about forgotten recipes. So I have like around 365 recipes in that book.
Hi Madhura, welcome to Catching Up.
Hi, Mrinal.
How are you? How are things with you during this pandemic? It's the first question that I ask everyone.
Since I'm a food creator, this pandemic has been quite busy for all of us. But there was no other option than cooking at home for quite a long period of time. So we were busy filming the videos, putting it up over the internet, and at the same time taking care of our families on the back end. So it was quite busy.
What does your day generally look like?
Home is the place for everything these days. Like there's home office, home schooling. So I have to consider everything else. So considering that, I get up quite early in the morning. So I plan my videos around 7 in the morning. So the thing is, like, I plan to wrap up my filming the videos around afternoon, so that rest of the day I can spend with my kids or family.
So other than your home and the content creation, you're filming your videos, what is keeping you busy? Like I know you've divided your day as for work and you've divided for home, but is there anything that you're doing personally?
Like I've been creating content for over a decade now. It's almost 10 years. So one thing I realized in the process that Marathi cuisine or Maharashtrian recipe isn't documented the way it should have been. There's proper documentation related to the history about Maharashtrian cuisine, or the many recipes hasn't been documented. So considering that, I'm quite a lot into studying all the Maharashtrian culture and forgotten dishes and all that. And I tried to utilize this lockdown period in penning down another recipe book. So this recipe book is all about forgotten recipes. So I have like around 365 recipes in that book. So I have worked on that book, and since these are lost recipes, no one knows it. Having said that, you eat food with your eyes first. So just to give a reader an idea how the final output looks like, I have cooked and clicked the entire 365 recipes. So I have kind of tried to utilize this lockdown period for.
Your family must be very happy with this process, right? They're getting to taste, new dishes every day soon. So you mentioned that you've been creating content for 10 years now. Can you tell me a little bit about your journey?
So I started off in 2009. So I was working around that time. I was, of course, just like any food blogger, their journey starts like overseas, if you look back. So I was in the USA. I was working with a bank, and I was on the maternity leave. So around that time, I realized whenever I Googled for any recipes, I didn't find any Maharashtrian recipes like for thesa or misal pav. So that was the vision. I thought like digital media is a great platform to showcase your creativity or your love for passion, and setting forward that vision, like to make Marathi cuisine global. I started off with this Madhura's recipe.
So we know that your forte is your Maharashtrian recipes. So and you're now working on forgotten recipes. How are you researching for it, or what is your inspiration? Are you getting in touch with someone who knows about, like for us, if we have to talk about achar or anything, we'll reach out to our elders. So what is your process for this?
So while discovering about Maharashtrian cuisine, I figured it out. It's so diversified. There's one saying in Marathi, "जिथे जे पिकतं तिथे ते शिजतं." Means whatever grows in that particular region, it has an impact on its cooking. So in Maharashtra itself, if we divide it as a city wise or as a division wise. In Konkan, there is an abundance of rice and fresh coconut. So you can see the influence of that in their routine cooking. Parallel to that, there is Western Maharashtra. There is a good amount of influence of whole wheat. Then Marathwada, they grow quite a good amount of lentils. Then if you go further to the north of Maharashtra, Vidarbha and Khandesh, there's quite a good amount of utilization of lentils plus peanuts. So considering all these things, I thought, wow, this is something really huge. So it's a process again, since it's a lost recipes. I spend good amount of time in reading, researching. Then I try to meet the older generation as much as possible. I discuss with them. Then I had to travel. I travel to different places. I try to figure out the local cuisine. I prefer to have homestays so that I will get an idea about the spices that goes in, or how that particular recipe evolved over the period of time within that community itself. So it's an ongoing process and I really enjoy it.
So are you looking towards a milestone, or you say that, okay, in my journey, this is what I want to achieve, or something that you have already achieved and that made you feel that, okay, I've read somewhere, this was something I never thought of and I'm doing it now?
I don't think so. I have even thought about milestone because it's a never-ending work. Means it's food itself is a diversified genre, and mainly when you talk about regional thing. So no, every day when I get up, I get somehow that feel, oh, there is a lot of work that needs to be done in this genre itself. So I don't think I have achieved any milestone or I have any dream about achieving anything. It's just a true vision, genuine vision to make this regional cuisine, not just about Maharashtra. Once I think I have done enough work on Maharashtrian cuisine, I might move on to some other region as well. So it's going to be, of course, never-ending journey for me.
But, okay. So I'm pretty sure no one thinks when they started, okay, this is going to be how I'll see myself in 10 years. This is like, especially since with content creation, it's an everyday, things are changing, we're evolving, platforms are evolving. So, while sitting in USA, did you plan that, okay, when you started, this is going to be how my 10 years will look like?
To be honest, no, because in 2009, there wasn't even concept about a digital content creator. We started, it was like diving into the unknown. No one had idea, even videos were not getting monetized around that time. It started post like 2011 or something like that. So I had no idea how the platforms will evolve, but of course it was a learning process for me as the time passed by. I also got seriousness about the benefit or utilization of this platform as a creator or the vision that has. So yes, over the period of time there are multiple platforms those have evolved. Like I started with Facebook. I started with writing the blogs initially. So but one thing I figured out, like whenever I put up any content or recipe on blog, there wasn't enough traffic. So that's how Facebook also helped me to evolve through the process. Then Facebook was the only platform to put up your blogs, and it helped me to market my content around that time.
I know, so you are a Facebook first creator, like your journey started as a Facebook creator and then you moved to different platforms. How has Facebook helped you grow? Like I know you mentioned that you started putting out videos because of blogs weren't getting enough traffic, but as a platform, how has Facebook helped you?
First thing, it helps to market my content, because whenever I put up a post on a blog, there wasn't enough traffic or it wasn't reaching to the amount of people that I was expecting. So I kept on updating my Facebook page on a daily basis. So I got quite a good amount of engagement. So as the time passed by, I realized this is also a great platform. Like through blogs, there was just a reply to the comments, but through Facebook, there was a personal interaction. I got to connect with my viewers, my followers, with the help of Facebook. There was a personal connect, building up slowly, and community was growing eventually. So this is how it evolved. Initially, it started like putting up a blog post. Then I moved on to sharing recipe images. Then I started sharing some personal stuffs, and then now we have a full video streaming platform as well. We have a shorts. So for me, it's a learning process.
You're using every possible platform for your content right now.
Yes. Why not?
So you're also an entrepreneur. You started with your spice friend. Tell me something about it. How did it happen? What made you pick this?
For me, I wouldn't take credit for this venture because it wasn't on my list, to be honest. So it was like me and my colleague, my business partner, we were at some conference at Hyderabad in around 2017, mid of 2017. And during that conference, we happened to have conversation with many television celebrity chefs. So during our conversation, they shared this idea like how this platform, television as a platform, has helped them to emerge as a brand itself. So we thought like if they can create and build their brand using television as a platform, then why not digital? And that's how idea clicked. Then we came back and then we worked on several things. So for me, my vision is clear. If I want to do anything, it should be around food and mainly regional stuff. And then we thought about like what the feedbacks or comments we get from our viewers, and the common feedback was they're missing that punch or color or taste in their dishes. So considering that, we thought about coming up with the masalas, and the masalas then again it's a regional thing. So we thought about coming up with very basic Maharashtrian masala, that is goda masala or kanda lasun masala, which once our grandmother used to prepare in a bulk or large quantities and store it for years. But now since women are working, we don't have enough time or privilege to prepare things in these large quantities. So we thought let's make the life of homemakers or people easy and come up with the masalas that we use on an everyday basis in every Maharashtrian household. And that's how we started with this masala thing.
So which masala is your most sold one?
So kanda lasun masala is the mostly requested masala.
How is wearing the entrepreneur hat? How do you feel like that?
I don't think I'm an entrepreneur yet. Still, I look myself as a creator, and there's a vision. Now, I can see masala as a stepping stone. It is taking my vision to some other level. So that's how I look at it. And we need to go further.
So, and what are your plans for both for your brand and for your channel too? Like the next steps that you plan?
So yes, to create content on a regular basis. That's how my journey started, and focus is really on that. Apart from that, I keep writing the things, so I have already published one book. Now the second is in the pipeline, which will get published in another month or so. So I'm quite looking forward for the documentation about regional cuisine, not just about Maharashtra, but other regional cuisines across India as well. So that is one thing definitely I'm looking forward.
Okay. And one major learning that you had throughout these years?
Content creation or creating a content, it's an ongoing process. And you might have some like lazy days. For that, to get out of that zone, you got to have vision. Vision is something that keeps you going through your journey. You got to be consistent when you are a content creator. So for me, this is something my vision. It has helped really me to keep going through these 10 years, and now I feel like even I have evolved as a creator or as a person throughout this journey. So I look forward to I have to do quite a good amount of work in food journal itself. So yes, first thing you need to have a vision whenever you're doing anything, and that's what it really helps to keep going on for a long period of time.
So I have some like quick questions to ask. So we discussed a lot about it. We know that you're pro in videos. People watch your videos, but now we need to know that if you have to watch something, so will you binge watch or you won't? So it's so you just say yay or nay to the options. Okay. Do you watch ASMR videos?
Yes.
Weird cooking trend videos.
Yeah.
Salman Khan stunt actions.
Yes. Of course.
Random hacks.
No.
Random food eating habit videos.
Yes.
I think you can spend like enough time watching it. Okay, and then we'll quickly ask you like some weird food trends. I mean, I don't know if you will say yay or nay to these. Maggi Pani Puri.
No.
Kiwi on pizza.
Yes.
Chocolate dosa.
Yes.
Roti and ice cream.
No.
Nutella on biryani.
Which biryani?
Nutella on biryani.
No.
Dhokla with barbecue sauce.
Yes.
Fried rice and butter chicken.
No.
Fries dipped in ice cream.
No.
And thank you so much. It was fun, like talking to you. So, it was nice. Like, for me, it was such a refreshing thing to talk to you because we talked about food, we talked about content, we talked about entrepreneurship, we talked a lot. And thank you so much. Thank you for being part of this.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you, and thanks for having me on Social Kitchen.
Thank you.